just in time for the summer and the time you want to go on a cruise. This comes out. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. And actually, we just bought some tickets a little while ago. And then this story comes out that reminds me of what happened back in 2020. Apparently, we have a new thing, hantavirus. We'll get into that story. We got a ton of other stuff. Walmart doing something a little interesting on their pricing. We'll get into that. We got Mark Hamill, what he did, the guy from Star Wars. We got a ton of other stuff as well. The Daily Wire and much more. Let's just get going here. We'll start with these food prices changing on the fly at Walmart. Candy prices change in front of customers at Walmart because of these new electronic pricing tags. This means you could pick up an item, put it in your cart. By the time you get to the checkout, the price could be higher. Check this out.
And next thing I know is I literally witnessed this brand and all these other 10 snack size bars change from $2.50 to $3.16. It started glitching, and I thought, what in the world? Because I had noticed that it was $2.50 when I come down this aisle. And next thing I know, it says $3.16, and I see this one glitching, and I see this one glitching.
And they look almost like paper. When you look at it, you wouldn't expect it to do that. Obviously, if you go to buy something, put it in your cart, you get up to the front, and you find out, oh, it's $1 more now. That sounds really awesome. So this is something now happening in Walmart. You might want to check that next time you're in there. If you go there, I usually go to Kroger, but whatever. I'm not exactly a fan of Walmart. Then we got this story here. Apparently, Barack Obama, Mark Hamill were promoting his presidential center. What was that, like yesterday or day before yesterday? We covered it on one of my channels. Maybe I covered it over here as well. Then the very next day, Mark Hamill, the guy who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, puts this out about our president. If I can get it on the screen, there we go. He should live long enough to witness the inevitable devastating loss in the midterms, to be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for countless crimes, long enough to realize he will be disgraced in the history books forevermore. And, of course, he put this as the picture. And we've seen this a lot lately. And we know that this is the type of stuff that leads to bad things happening. We even had Jimmy Kimmel do that not too long ago. And now apparently he's doing it to Rudy Giuliani. He keeps pushing the boundaries. Check this out. Let's play this really quick. Jimmy Kimmel once again.
America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani rose from the grave to weigh in on the ongoing drama involving me.
Dad, I want you, if you don't have it, I want you to dig out the one from maybe one of the most distasteful human beings in this country, Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh. Yes. Of course, they're thinking he's paused because he couldn't remember. But no, he could remember his name. He was just trying to think of a colorful way to describe him beforehand. Yes, indeed, you deserve that 100%, Jimmy Kimmel. And you should probably be fired again, actually. And I'm starting to think Mark Hamill as well should be fired from whatever job you might actually have. Of course, Star Wars, I'm going to get into my other channel, but apparently Disney is literally canceling the trilogy they created from the storyline of Star Wars because it did so terribly, and they're going to start over. That shows you how bad they've screwed up, and Mark Hamill was a part of that. At any rate, you got that story there. We're going to get into this whole hantavirus thing. It just popped up. I was getting an oil change in my car, and I see this hantavirus. I'm like, seriously? Another thing? Cruise ships? Really? And we're going to get into it and get into the deep dive of what the truth is on it, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people fear-mongering over it. So I'm going to get into that in this video in a second. First, I'm going to mention Food Supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. They have lots of options available. Go check the link in the description. Emergency food supply, lots of solar generators, water filtration. They have as low as $20 up to $3,000 if you want a year's worth of food or like a massive generator or something. Link is in the description. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity. You never know. Like, we got this war in Iran. I saw the gas prices today, $5 practically where I live, but if you live in California, it's probably like 10. I don't know what it is over there. where I live is pretty cheap. But $5 ain't cheap for me. All right. I didn't like that. And you never know what that will turn into. We have China now saying something. We're going to get into that, I think, in this video as well. I think it kind of leads in and makes me wonder if it's related. You remember what happened in 2020? You remember how China was involved? I got something on that here as well. So you might want to get prepared for whatever's next. Get the printer version. Link is in the description for it. $37. All right, let's get back to the video. So, and also check out our game, Noah VR. Link is in the description for that as well. Investment opportunity, the game we're developing. Link is in the description for that. $400 to get a seat with 700 other people. 33% of Noah VR profits are set aside for those who get involved. Go check it out. Link is in the description. Let's get back to the video. So we have, of course, this hantavirus. Nearly 40 cruise passengers exposed to the deadly virus may have already scattered across the globe as authorities scramble to track them down. Dozens left the MV Hondius ship without contact tracing after a hantavirus outbreak that's already killed at least 3 people. The WHO warns that while human-to-human transfer is uncommon, it is still possible. Apparently it is in this case. It's the Andes strain, which is human-to-human. Usually it isn't with this virus. Hantavirus usually comes from rodents. In this case, it looks like it was human-to-human, but it sounds really bad when you hear it, and it's going to scare some people, but actually it shouldn't if you understand really what's going on. It has a very high mortality rate. And that sounds really terrible, right? 30% in the case of the Andes strain. However, you have to understand, when you have something like this with such a high mortality rate, it usually doesn't spread very far because people die so quickly. Although this one's a little bit unique, so it could actually spread a little bit because it has sort of a gestation period of a few weeks, which can make it a little elusive, but it won't probably do as bad as it seems because this has actually happened before. And I'm going to show you that as we get into this video. This isn't the first time this has happened. There's even a famous actor, Gene Hackman, that died from this. From U.S. to Singapore, countries race to track hantavirus. This isn't the first time. It happened back in the 90s. I think it happened in 2008. It's been around for quite a while. I think it's at least from the 90s that they've known about this virus. Health authorities across several countries are racing to trace and contain the outbreak of the hantavirus. And, of course, a lot of people are already hyping this on social media, although there is some merit to hyping this a little bit because there are some weird things surrounding it. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that there isn't, but this thing has existed since 1993. This isn't something new. It isn't some weird thing. This wasn't something they found in a food market in China, okay? The rare hantavirus outbreaks are rare, with a major headline-making events typically occurring only a few times in recent decades, primarily stemming from a 1993 Four Corners outbreak and specific rare-to-rare human transmission. Events in Americas, including major 2018 to 2019 outbreak in Argentina, which I think this is where this came from, by the way. The 2026 cruise ship cluster, which is the one we're dealing with right now. Was it Argentina or was it Africa? I'm getting it confused because I read a couple different things on it. All right, so let's see what it says here. May 2026, cruise ship outbreak. I can't talk. A cluster of cases, including 3 deaths. Cape Verde, right? Okay, it's the Andes strain, right? Maybe I got confused with that. Cape Verde. Okay, so where is this? It's in the Atlantic Ocean, small island, out in the middle of nowhere, apparently. Okay. That's where it came from. All right. So that's where it came from this time around. Okay. Again, like I said, this isn't something new. It's been around. Was it Gene Hackman? Or am I thinking wrong? Yeah, actor Gene Hackman's wife. I'm sorry, it was his wife, not him. Betsy Arakawa died 7 days before he did from hantavirus. I'm wondering about him. That's kind of weird. So, of course, you have this. Let's play this clip real quick, I guess. Let's see what's going on here.
For Miss Betsy Hackman, age...
Oh, this is from way back in the old days. Or when was this again? This was... What year was this? I'm not even sure what year it was. 2025. Oh, okay, it was last year. Gene Hackman's wife's death kills 3 in California. Public health. So this was back last year around the same time, or 13 months ago to the day, where Gene Hackman and his wife. So you got that story. And the thing I was mentioning about something bizarre regarding it was apparently there's a guy who predicted this. We get these weird accounts on X that predict things. It's so strange. Where was this? Okay, never mind. Let's just look at this here. This channel's called Soothsayer. You remember we had the one about the whole, what was it? I can't remember the name of what it was called. Correspondence dinner. Remember the whole thing with the correspondence dinner? And we had a guy predict the whole thing and predict the guy that was involved, like so many years beforehand. Here we have yet another X account predicting this. 2023, Corona ended. 2026, hantavirus. And this guy supposedly is predicting the future. His channel's called Soothsayer. He has very few posts from what I understand. There's like 5 posts or something, 4 posts. Okay, that's weird. Again, the other account that predicted the correspondence dinner incident had only 1 tweet on his entire account. This one has 4 tweets and predicts the hantavirus this year. So you got these weird things like this on X all the time. You're like, what the hell? Where are these people coming from, right? You're like, what? China orders firms to ignore U.S.-Iran sanctions, daring U.S. to enforce crackdowns. Kind of making me think that China's getting pissed at America. China's getting pissed at America. Could this be related? Maybe not. Maybe so. Who knows? Of course, that was what happened the last time, 2020, right? Could be some sort of relation there. We don't know. It could have no relation whatsoever as well. China's ordered companies to disregard U.S. sanctions targeting Iranian oil, forcing a direct test of Washington's ability to enforce its crackdown on Iran. A new directive issued through China's Commerce Ministry Sunday invokes 2021 blocking statute. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, that's weird. China last time, right? With the whole back in 2020, 2021, that prohibits firms from complying with foreign sanctions deemed illegitimate. The order applies to several Chinese refiners accused by the United States of purchasing Iranian crude, including major independent processors known as teapot refineries. So you got here China saying blank you to America about the whole Iran war. Makes you really wonder if there could be some weird connection. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a weird coincidence. But I'm going to just say I don't think this hantavirus is going to go far. I think it's going to be kind of like the last time. What was that? It was in when was that? The last time was in 2018, 2019. Argentina outbreak. And there was 29 cases, 11 deaths. And like I said, when it has such a high mortality rate, they usually don't spread very far. Although in the case of this Andes, it's a little elusive because it has a couple week incubation time, which sometimes it's not noticeable. So that's a little weird. So that's something that's a little bit concerning, but usually these don't go very far because of their high mortality rate. Compared to COVID, it's like 1% on that one. It's 30% on this one. So definitely don't want to get this, but it seems like this is not something that easily spreads very far. I guess I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. Let's just put it that way. I hope I'm right. I hope this is just a weird coincidence. This guy predicts this thing. I hope it's a weird coincidence. It's back from 2022. 4 years ago, he put this. He is predicting both. Oh my goodness, he's actually right on the 2023 as well, isn't he? Isn't that about the time they stopped doing all their BS? I think that was around that time. Yeah, so that is weird. Anyway, you got that story. We have here layoffs at Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire hit Nashville headquarters hardest. It seems like Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire is losing money, losing views, not doing so well of recent. Ben Shapiro, conservative media company, Daily Wire recently confirmed a round of reportedly extensive layoffs Now, some people are exaggerating it, saying it's like 50, 60% of the people. I think it's about 25% of the people, from what I understand, according to Jeremy Boring, because he kind of counteracted some of what people were saying online. Right-wing media company divulged the news in an official statement May 1st, citing new investments in formats, locations, and production models. Now, of course, Jeremy Boring was let go too. Jeremy Boring, though, when he was there, it was running pretty well. Although, from what I understand, supposedly he sank too much money into his movie project. What was that about? Merlin the Magician, King Arthur. I believe he called it Pendragon, if I remember correctly. Now, here we have Candace and Nick commenting on this. This is kind of weird. Yeah, let's just play this really quick. Check this out.
Probably one of the top shows. Django Unchained. Dude, she's like Django. She's like Django, killing everybody in the big house and then blowing it up. Kind of what it was, because she was there. She worked there. She was probably one of the top shows. And then she just exploded the whole house on her way out. Kind of epic. Can't lie. I'm going to glaze Candace Owens a little bit. I don't agree with everything that she's up to, but, if she brings down the Daily Wire, then she's a patriot.
So people are crediting me. Do I actually deserve that credit? Have I been focusing my attention on the Daily Wire throughout this show?
Django Unchained.
Okay, so obviously, if you've been paying attention, Nick is very much about burning the whole thing down now. Everything, our president, the Daily Wire, everything, as you can tell. And I don't agree with what he's been saying. He's been saying you need to our president hasn't been doing everything he said he was going to do, and we need to just vote on the other side, which is completely insane if you ask me. Why would you vote on the other side? Are you insane? That's not going to solve anything, right? I do think we should hold our president accountable to bring forth some of the things that he's been missing, that he said he would be doing. I do think that we need to go after those people in the files, talking to Jeffrey with the island. I think this Iran thing needs to end because it's been going too long already. And I kind of get this feeling it's going to keep going if we don't stop it. All right. And other than that, there are a few other things, but those are the two big ones off the top of my head. He has been doing quite a few things right. It's not all bad like Nick or maybe Candace would say. I do agree, though, that with the Daily Wire, I'm not exactly a fan of the Daily Wire. I don't like the direction they've been going of recent, especially with Ben Shapiro. I didn't really, honestly, I used to like Jeremy Boring a little bit more, but I'm liking him even less the more I watch him. So I don't know. I don't like the Daily Wire, man. Just to be honest, I just simply don't like it at all. But, I agree with some things that they say here and there. I agree sometimes with Nick or Candace or whoever, but there's not one of them I agree with them on everything. That's for sure. At any rate, so there's that. What else do we got here? Okay, so we got going back a little bit to this hantavirus. We got here as well a person that's involved apparently talking about this. And like I was saying, I feel like this is not going to go as far as people think it is. I think it's kind of like they're doing a little bit of a fear game with this. I think it's going to end up being, a few people get sick and die or something. That's probably what it's going to end up being. Maybe 20 people, probably max, I'm guessing. Let's just play this anyways.
Just remember that there are real people behind it and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding. Thank you.
I'm gonna be real, I wouldn't let them back. We're gonna have to have y'all quarantined for a week or something like that. Fly them out supplies, contain it, right? It's just pretty fucking obvious what to do, right? It's duh. Another vaccine? Yeah, guys, who's ready for their 15th booster shot? Go buy toilet paper. Go buy the toilet paper right now.
You gotta buy some. What's so funny about that is I went to my mom's house. It was a few years back. And she literally had 2 pallets of toilet paper. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? I actually make fun of people like you, and you got freaking 2 pallets of toilet paper 5 foot tall. What the hell are you doing? Well, like I'm like literally making fun of people back then about doing that, like buying like all the toilet paper. What are you going to use the toilet paper for? To wipe your butt during the apocalypse? Like, what is it for? Why do you got 2 pallets 5 foot tall of toilet paper in your basement? Come on, give me a break. It's so retarded, dude. That was my mom though. My mom literally did that. So I don't know, man. It makes a lot more sense to me to buy the food. You might want the food more so than the toilet paper. You might want pretty much anything else over toilet paper. I'm thinking you couldn't, I mean, technically, I guess you could sell toilet paper. I think there'd be other things that would sell better than toilet paper, but I don't know. It just seemed weird to me that my mom did that. So what is this? Okay, so this is another thing. I told you guys some people are hyping this. There's a little bit behind this. And the reason why I'm being a little bit anti-hyping, like I don't want this to go far, and I don't think it will. But the last time around, back in 2020, I was one of those dudes thinking like this is the I was one of the first people on YouTube talking about it. I was talking about it before anybody else was. Before they even said it was something. I was talking about it. I was talking about what was happening in China because no one was paying attention to it back then. And I was literally talking about it before anybody even knew about it. And I was like, oh my God, get the mask. I was literally the first person doing that. And, you know, then it ended up not being as big of a deal as it was. And I realized now looking back, I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy like overhyped. Because after a month or two, I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. This is like the whole thing. Now they're going to try to make us get stuff, put things on. I'm like, I was pretty much one of the first to convert to not being on board as well. So I was one of the first people to cover it, be all the wrong direction. And then I was one of the first people to convert the other direction. So I went through it pretty quickly, but I don't want to do that this time around because I don't think it will be a big deal. I think it won't be. I think it'll be like 20 people. You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Let's see if I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not wrong. 2 weeks before antivirus news broke, the WH, of course, ran an exercise. Oh my goodness. They ran one in April 22nd to 23rd. Okay. This stuff sounds familiar. I don't like where this is going. This better not be what I freaking think it is. Past Polaris drills include cruise ship or travel related scenarios. And I literally just bought a ticket for the summer. So I'm going to get really pissed off because back in 2020, we were going to go on a cruise and that stuff started happening on cruise ships. And I was like, no, I'm not going to buy one. And I'm like, okay, I think it's safe now. Let's buy one. And then this crap comes out. I'm like, dude, you better not do this. I'm going to get really pissed off. I'm getting sick of this crap. Bill Gates, I'm sick of your BS, dude. This stuff's really pissing me off now. Cruise ship travel related scenarios, simulation using fictional, whatever, high mortality rate, which of course the Andes ones does have a pretty high mortality rate, 30%. Simulation focused on early detection, all that kind of stuff. I really hope this ends up being a nothing burger at any rate. So there's that. Kind of wonder what some of you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.